Okay, so welcome back. And today, the topic of discussion will be diversity preservation. And we know from the general life that diversity plays an immensely huge role. At this university, of course, one of our aim is to have diversity preservation, to get people who are good in academics, to get people who are good in sports, to get people who are good in the cultural activities, to get people who are strong in management, people with good leadership skills, and so on and so forth. And we try to let everyone nurture and develop their own skills. So there are different sets of activities for different kinds of people. So we don't want to say to a person good in sports that we are a university that's only into information technology, so we have no regard for you. On the contrary, we do sports activities so that that skill is nurtured and that skill is further developed. And towards the end, we try to make in multiple diverse teams where people from different backgrounds, different states, different languages, different skills, leadership, sports, and everyone come together and make in great projects where everybody in the project adds to a lot of diversity and the overall solution happens to be great. The same is true with the entire educational sector. So the universities, which we call as the Ivy League universities, would do a lot of efforts in order to inculcate diversity in their intake. And therefore, graduates from universities like ours have their own uniqueness, and our universities work quite hard in order to have all those uniqueness in terms of competitive programming, mathematics, into their souls, into their bloods, so that they can contribute to such universities in an extremely unique way. What happens when all the universities of the world start doing exactly the same thing, teaching exactly the same course, and doing nothing but teaching the same course all over? So some set of prescribed syllabus will be there, and everyone in the world will have exactly the same skills. And because of that, maybe some skills that you thought were not important to be included in the curriculum, those Vedic sciences and the Ayurveda sciences and the fast mathematical calculations, you thought they are obsolete, they are not needed, may in fact later turn out to be absolutely great. So we want to let everybody develop their own local skills. We want to let everybody develop their own local talent and not wash away anything in the global light or the well benchmarked international solutions to all problems, because you never know what currently appears to be a local knowledge may turn out to be great later on. And that's diversity preservation. And in the non academic world as well, all the cuisines, be it Arabic, be it Indian, be it continental, all of them have survived. They have their own uniqueness. We've survived them up rather than saying this food is absolutely great, everybody have only this. And as well as all the sports are still alive, different sports have different capabilities. They touch upon different trade-off between physical and mental stamina, group and individual strategies. They all have their own uniqueness. We made every sport survive. And therefore, when we talk about evolution, my mantra has to be exactly the same thing, that even though we talked a lot about convergence, everything coming up together at one place, but diversity is extremely important. The areas, the type of individuals that currently look weak might later develop characteristics and become extremely strong. So don't just waste that up. Now, if I need to understand diversity preservation, let us take the same fitness landscape and draw it up for a problem with just one variable, because that's all I can draw. So the problem is minimize effects. And the landscape turns out to be again extremely complicated, drawn over like this, and I have some individuals all over. Now, diversity preservation says that don't delete them up, don't delete them up, don't delete them up, because this is clearly the best. Don't delete them up. If you delete them up, in this example, you will face absolutely no problem, but I can always change the example to something where deletion will lead to immense trouble. An example where this is the situation. So if you have some individuals like this, so what the algorithm believes is that the fitness landscape is something like this, and therefore these areas represented by these individuals over here are clearly the best. So it will say delete everything here, or delete these individuals. However, if you do that, if you don't let this local knowledge prevail, if you don't let this local knowledge sustain, then this area will absolutely never get discovered. So that's the traditional Indian knowledge. You want it to survive. You don't want the effects of westernization. That's the Indian knowledge. This is what they teach at the Ivy League universities. You don't want these individuals to get an American visa and travel over here and get trained over here, at least not at the undergraduate level. You want them to develop the local skills, the local talent, the local knowledge, go all the way up over here. And then who knows that when it turns out to be better than this, then this knowledge is what is given to these people, and they are the ones who are coming here to study and to develop this knowledge further up on. So that's because of diversity preservation. The last line of motivation. So last time we discussed a lot about these are good areas, let them survive, but nowhere in the entire algorithm was some geometric distance or geographical distance or India and US far apart. It was just normal crossover, mutation, recombination, different styles of mutation and different mutation strategies. Nowhere was it something near and something far off. And that's exactly what we'll be doing now. We will be preserving diversity, but we will be saying that the diversity preservation is geographical in nature. So when I say preserve diversity, I mean to say now literally some individuals are at some nook and corner, and let them survive, let them develop what they have, let them continue, because if you give them enough time, they may prove themselves to be extremely worthy. So now my same arguments will be geographical in nature, or based on some distance measure, or based on some proximity, or based on some closeness, so that when I say some region, it really means a geographical region and not anything else.